let's turn now to our superintendent's report. Superintendent Dixon, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm looking for our Employee of the Month. I'm not seeing her in the room. Oh, there she is. All right. Come on down, Sarah Wiebke, sit right up front. So I don't know if you heard last week a huge cheer go throughout the state, but that happened when Sarah Wiebke was named as our Employee of the Month. Sarah is a beloved colleague and employee and just has the respect of so many people out in the field. And I'm just going to read her nomination because it captures really well what we all feel about Sarah. Sarah Wiebke's been an amazing specialist who has helped educators at all levels achieve amazing results. There are a lot of amazings about Sarah for students in her incredible work in early childhood and literacy education. She has led the statewide work that has deeply impacted an entire generation of educators who are excitedly learning and implementing effective practices using the science of reading. In our recent legislative session, she helped decision makers see why full-day kindergarten availability throughout the state is a great leap forward to supporting the critical early development years for Utah students. This shows the great respect she's cultivated, not only for herself and her team, but for the system that the state board is charged with supporting. She's an advocate for early learning who knows what she's talking about. And her nominator said, my own understanding of the need for educators to deeply engage in the science of reading has increased because of her patient conversations and explanations of specific concerns. She knows how to read the room and share her understanding in an approachable way, no matter the audience. Some of the most critical work in our K-12 system happens through her leadership. Because of this, the students of Utah have the advantage of having supported educators who can help them learn to read more effectively and engage in learning more than ever before. The effort she has shown for supporting these young students is giving them the kind of start in school that will pay off for the rest of their lives. And then I want to personally add with Sarah, Sarah's the kind of person that when somebody calls and expresses a frustration or a concern, Sarah so patiently works with them to find ways to be flexible that meets their needs. And I so love and appreciate that about Sarah. Sometimes we get locked into a policy or a process, and it's easy to say, well, this is the way it is. And Sarah works so diligently to work through that, to say, yes, we can still follow policy, but we can also be flexible and meet your needs, meet you where you're at. And she's been a great role model and example to all of us in the way that she leads. And we just love and adore Sarah and are so proud of her for being Employee of the Month. And she should be Employee of a Lifetime because she really sets a standard for all of us with her positivity and enthusiasm and her perseverance. We've had some bumps along the way trying to get full day K over the hump, and just I think as that passed the session, we were all excited for the families of Utah, for the parents who want that opportunity. But second to that, we were really happy for Sarah because we know that she put blood, sweat, and tears into really doing everything she could to put the board's priority of full day K into fruition. So congratulations to Sarah, and let's just all give her a round of applause.
Amen. Thank you, Sarah.
And then you all know the goodies that she gets, and Sarah's parking space was snow covered, I think, for a couple of days, but it's, oh, nice, she gets a crown. Thank you, Dr. Thronson. Dr. Thronson nominated her, and I know she could have written volumes about Sarah's great work. So thank you, Sarah, and congratulations.
Thank you all so much.
And then next we'll hear from the also amazing Rachel College with student art.
Thank you. I'm Rachel College. I am the Fine Arts Coordinator here at the Utah State Board of Education, and I have the most fun of the whole meeting every month when we're able to highlight student art. So we are going to be seeing some video from Jordan District and Davis District. We also, throughout the room, you'll see a variety of art from Cache County. The educators in Cache County are Jessica Stott from Bear River Charter School, Melissa Wrigley from Millville Elementary, Mindy Lyons from Nibley Elementary, and Tina Ernston from Lewiston Elementary, who've shared with us some portraits, some abstracts, some landscapes, a little bit of mixed media to showcase what they've been working on throughout this year with their amazing students. So I'll go ahead and we can watch the video where we'll see our students from Jordan District and Davis, and you'll also be seeing one of the unique components of the Beverly Taylor Sorensen Art Learning Program is we do have some coaches in various areas that help ensure that we're having high quality arts instruction and arts integration throughout the schools. Oh. The videos aren't loading, but they were prior. So I'll sing. Here we go. So what you see there is at Jordan, Ridgeview Elementary, the Beverly Taylor Sorensen Art Learning Program teacher has worked with all of the fourth grade teachers and the DART team to put together a wonderful program of music, the universal language. They have a lot of students from all over the world, and so they're able to celebrate and honor the students that they have in their classrooms with this performance that they've grown to love.
Coach for Davis School District. I work to provide professional development for both our BTS arts provides arts integrated
So we wanted to just showcase one of the many amazing art integration coaches, and she is in Davis District and working to ensure that we have integration throughout the schools that she's serving. And that is from Kristen Murphy's Essential Elements classroom in Davis School District. She and Ashley Toogood, who's the Beverly Taylor Sorensen Arts Learning Program, work together to ensure the students have high quality arts in their classroom, in their Essential Elements classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for putting that together. Now we'll have a presentation on our new employees. And just a reminder that we do this every other month.
And can I inject one quick comment?
Yes, sir.
Into your stream? I just want to thank, on a general matter, we've broadened what we bring in terms of art presentation. We've got these videos now, and just want to thank Rachel. She's back to working hard already. She left us, but I want to thank her for adding these new elements. It's just great to see the full breadth of the arts that are out there. So sorry. Thank you, Rachel. There she is.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Selena Johansson in HR. I'll be reviewing the USBE new hires for March and April of 2023. First is Winona Moss. She's a financial analyst for teaching and learning. She is from Palmer, Alaska. Her previous work was Davis School District as a substitute teacher and a math tutor and a mom. Next is Sharon Turner, Director of Public Affairs. She is from New Jersey. Her previous work was with Salt Lake City in public relations. Next, Mandy Decker, an office specialist. She is from Utah and Texas. Her previous work was with Springville High School in special education as a secretary. Ashley Carter, a UPAC attorney investigator. She is from Salt Lake City. Her previous work was with State of Utah as a director of Political Subdivisions Ethics and Review Commission. Greg Swap, he's an office specialist. He is from Riverton, Utah. His previous work was with Utah Valley University as a data specialist. And last is Dallin Owens. He's a software engineer. He's from Monroe, Utah. His previous work was in Partner as a software developer. And that's everyone.
Great, thank you. We just hired the best people. I hope you have a chance to read those quotes. They're awesome and always insightful to the great new hires that we have. All right, I'm going to go through just a few quick slides and just give some shout outs. I'm trying to bring a little sunshine in with the yellow and orange, so I apologize that I strayed from our template, but I was building this on a very snowy day and just trying to add a little light. I'm really excited that Utah has been highlighted by the U.S. Department of Ed and the federal government for our Title IV Part A, and they've actually called out Utah as a spotlight. So in the past, we've had a few findings in our reviews, and we have, in fact, I think 2 or 3 years running, we've had audit findings. And now we're being published as a model for the way that we've been using Title IV funds. There's a link to the spotlight if you want to read the full spotlight. I just highlighted the front page here. But basically, we are highlighted for the use of our funds to really build capacity among our educators. The team that I'll give a shout out to, Jody Parker, Joanna Sortson, Yanka Demavira, Etiana Coley-Wells, and Nathan Ock. This team really worked together over the course of a couple of years to use 4A funds to provide a standards institute. And this institute, we called it the SII, but it brought teachers together from all over the state and really helped them to get concentrated professional learning, high-quality professional learning on a couple of things, both the high-quality instructional cycle and thinking about how to integrate content across curriculum. So our teaching and learning staff has been very focused on high-quality instruction. We know it makes all the difference. And to be able to have this kind of learning in your content is really powerful professional learning. So for the federal government to recognize this and call it out, and then to make some recommendations for other states based on what they learned from the work of our staff is really commendable. So just a huge shout out to the team for getting this kind of recognition. A couple of the things that they suggested is that based on the work that they saw in Utah is to prioritize stakeholder engagement, train personnel statewide on overall principles and vision, and identify state leaders and specialists who can serve as champions. And they expand on those in the document. So I wanted to call that out for your awareness and just really thank our team for being able to have Utah spotlighted and highlighted. The next spotlight is our assistant principals. It's Assistant Principal Week, and I really want to give a shout out to assistant principals. I've been an assistant principal, and I remember when my husband and I were newly married, I was a brand new principal, and I still had that sort of that intentionality of you feel like you're walking around with a walkie-talkie. Some of you in this room can relate if you've been an assistant principal, and you're trying to get everyone sort of lined up and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I would find myself like at a movie or somewhere, and my husband would say, just remember, you're not the assistant principal of this community or of this movie. Or, if kids were out of order, you just tend to want to get everybody in shape, right? Board Member Hymas, you know what I'm talking about. But our assistant principals do so much more. I mean, they really can be the catalyst, the person in the school that really helps a student find their pathway. They're often the person who's working directly with the parents on behalf of a student. And there are so many things that they do in a school. It's not only discipline and communication, meeting with parents and teachers, but they really, they just are so busy. They help with activities and schedules and really play such a vital role. I think, Board Member Davis, I think you've been an assistant. I know Board Member Hymas and maybe others that I'm missing in this room, but it's a wonderful, hard, amazing job to be an assistant principal. And I just want to give a shout out to all of our assistant principals across the state for the difference they make every day and the hard work that they do. It's also library month, school library month, and our librarians have been under a spotlight, as you all know. Whenever I go into a school, I ask to see the library. And I do so because it's a place of peace and refuge and community for so many of our students. And I love to see the variety of our school libraries across the state. Here you'll see pictured Michelle Maxwell on the left, and this was at Uinta High School. When I walked into her space, I just had the best feeling. It's called Starbucks, which I love. She kind of had it decorated like a Starbucks. But her space is so welcoming, and hers is just an example of so many that I see across the state. But you'd see kids in a corner playing chess or in a board game or practicing for scenes in a play. She just creates this welcoming, amazing space. And again, I see that in so many places. I love to talk to kids that are sitting in a library to find out why they're in the library and what they're doing. And, most of the time, they don't tell me I'm here to check out a book. But they'll say things like, it's the place in the school where I feel the most peace. It's the place where I can tune out the noise. It's the place where I can come and sit down and play chess with a friend or study or catch up on my work. And I appreciate so much the work of our librarians. We tend to think of them as checking in and out books, and they do so much more. They help kids with research. I know in the case of Mrs. Maxwell, when I was there, I could not believe the variety of the needs that students had that were there in her space, and this is typical all across. I want to give a special shout out to our wonderful representative media specialist, Davina Southoff, and you've got to know her. And she is just really working so hard to meet the needs of our families and our students and our educators. And so thanks to her for leading the charge. But just a special warm thank you of great appreciation to our school librarians and those who work in our school libraries across the state. I hope that when you go into a school, you'll ask to see the library and speak to those who gather there. And then last but not least, Chief of Staff Sarah Young and I were able to highlight Utah for using our ESSER funds. We were called out by the Council of the State School Officers and to be able to go and present the work that we've been doing with our ESSER funds, particularly the funding that was targeted by you as a board for helping our charter schools with digital teaching and learning. When we launched digital teaching and learning about 7-8 years ago now, our districts were quicker to come on board than charters, and by virtue of their charter, they made those decisions along with their families. But through the pandemic, we realized that we really needed to target some funds to make sure that they had what they needed. And so Brooke Austin represented charter schools from Odyssey Charter, and she did such a great job. My gosh, we were so proud to have her represent our charter. She was excellent and really highlighting her work as an outstanding leader. They were a charter who really hadn't used technology, and she just talked about how they're using it very strategically as a tool, and doing so in a way that it was very sustainable. So it wasn't just about, oh, we need technology for the pandemic, but how are we using it as a tool just to supplement the great instruction that's going on in our classroom? And how are we using it with our families to improve outcomes for our students? So it was fun to be on this panel. Goodness, I'm forgetting his name, so Sarah might have to help me. Jason from American Enterprise Institute was the facilitator of the panel and asked really great questions. So it was wonderful to be a part of that highlight. So in essence, just wanting to share with you as a board that Utah continues to get recognized for our great work in a variety of ways. And I'm always so proud to represent you as the board and to represent our educators and families when we're on these panels, and called out for the great work that we're doing. If Scott Jones were here, and I know he's listening, he would say we're on the road to awesome. And I really believe that. You know, we get sidetracked sometimes on a frontage road. Sometimes we put the brakes on here and there, but I believe that we're on the road to awesome. And this is evidence that we continue to be highlighted for our work. So thank you to the board for supporting the great work that's going on out in the field. That
And
concludes
thank
my
you.
report.
Thank you, Superintendent Dixon. And let's just give a round of applause to everybody who was mentioned. And I hope I don't miss the assistant principals, librarians, Sarah Young. Good long list. Thank you very much.